Although this strategy doesn't present itself that often, when it does, you have to take advantage of it. I've got a real life client scenario optimizing spousal Social Security benefits, that and more coming up. My name's Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. How are you going to optimize Social Security for your unique situation? What are the factors that you're going to consider when determining whether you draw right away, whether you delay a little bit, a couple of years, delay all the way until 70? What are those factors? Recently did a video about some of the factors that you need to consider with your certified financial planner in your marital status. Whether you're married right now or whether you've ever been married needs to be one of the things that you consider when determining when's the best time for you to draw Social Security. Why? Because of something called the spousal benefit rules. And these are strange rules. They are unique and they can be applied differently, whether you're currently married, whether you've been divorced, how long were you married, or whether you were previously married and are now a widow or widower. These rules can work differently, so you need to be aware for your specific situation. Recently, and this situation doesn't come up that often, but was just dealing with a client situation where we needed to optimize the spousal benefit for two different clients in the exact same way. Let me give you this scenario. A couple in their late 60s, they've saved up a lot, accumulated a lot over the years, a couple $1 million they've saved up. He's been the primary breadwinner and has maxed out Social Security for the most part. He's been earning a salary where he's paid the maximum amount of Social Security taxes in for several years. So his benefit's going to be significant. While she also worked many years, she stayed home a little bit for the kids. She's mostly worked part-time, and therefore she qualifies for Social Security, but it's a much smaller amount. Here's the situation though. Even though they've saved up a lot, he's still working part-time. And so even though they're in their late 60s, 68, neither of them have turned on Social Security. When he does, his benefit's going to be somewhere in the $4,000 range. Her Social Security, though, is just over $1,000. But like I said, neither of them have turned on Social Security. And when we started meeting with them, they said, no, the strategy is he's probably going to start winding down work here and just either in the next year or so, but they're going to delay Social Security until age 70 because they want it to grow to the maximum amount. Well, there's a gap here. There's an issue here. There's a planning strategy here when it comes to spousal benefits. So here's how spousal benefits work for Social Security. And I'm just going to give a broad overview. When you're drawing Social Security, when you're claiming Social Security and you've been married, you get to draw your own Social Security or half of your spouse's, whichever's higher. And that's not exactly true, but that's essentially how the math works. You get to draw your own Social Security or half of your spouse's, whichever's higher. Well, what if half of your spouse's is higher? So say in this instance, her Social Security is going to be around $1,100 a month. Well, half of his, let's just say, is going to be $2,000 a month, okay, just to use round numbers. Technically, she would be eligible, the higher of the two, the $2,000 a month. So she will get her own $1,100 a month plus a $900 spousal benefit so that the combined is equal to half of his. Make sense? Well, that spousal benefit has a maximum to it, where all of us, when we claim Social Security, we can draw Social Security as early as 62, or we can delay and let the benefit continue to grow all the way until 70. A spousal benefit works different. The maximum amount of a spousal benefit is 50% of your spouse's full retirement age amount. So you can see the issue. They're past the husband's full retirement age amount, and neither of them are on Social Security. So as she's delaying Social Security, she's not receiving any benefit. He is receiving a benefit for delaying. His benefit is continuing to grow, but not hers. So then you might say, well, okay, easy fix. She needs to turn on that spousal benefit for Social Security right now. Well, she can't. You're not eligible. They closed this loophole. This used to be something called a restricted application or file and suspend. Those were two advanced claiming strategies with Social Security where you're not eligible for a spousal benefit if you're married. If you're currently married, this does not apply if you're divorced. If you're currently married, then you're not eligible for that spousal benefit until your spouse starts their own Social Security. And because he's still working, because he wants to continue to delay Social Security so it grows, he's not going to start his Social Security. Therefore, she's not eligible for that spousal benefit. He used to be able to file and then immediately suspend and pause his payment, and that would allow her to be able to claim that spousal benefit. That's not around anymore. Can't do that. So if she's not eligible for a spousal benefit, is there a planning strategy here? Yes. She should turn on her own benefit. She should start her own Social Security, and actually should have started it immediately at her full retirement age and started drawing that $1,100 a month. Why? Because if she starts that $1,100 a month, that has no bearing, that has no influence on what she'll get once he turns on his Social Security and she gets that spousal benefit, because she's waited until her full retirement age. In this case, she's waited an extra year and beyond, about 15 months. So what we're going to do is we're going to have her draw her Social Security, to log in, turn on her Social Security, backdate it as far as we can so we can go back 6 months, and therefore she'll have missed a couple of months there, but she'll get a large check of 6 months all at once, and then start that $1,100 a month benefit. Then, when her husband decides to get on Social Security, whether that's all the way until age 70, her benefit will go up to that $2,000. Her $1,000 benefit will stay, but added on top of that will be the spousal benefit of that $900. Pretty neat strategy, right? Pretty neat strategy. Doesn't come around all that often, but when it does, like I'm saying, you've got to jump on it. Now, I'm gonna dispel one myth, because those of you creatively thinking, you might have said, well, wait a second, if she wasn't working at age 62, shouldn't she have just turned on her Social Security all the way back at 62? And if she wasn't working, it wouldn't have been penalized, so she should have started early. Not necessarily in this case. Possibly, maybe something to consider, but if she drew before her Social Security or before her full retirement age, then she would receive a reduced benefit. And then once her spouse turned on his Social Security at age 70, her spousal benefit would be a reduced amount, a combined reduced amount as well. So for her to maximize and optimize the system, turning on her own Social Security at her full retirement age 67 would have been the wise choice. If she drew earlier, it would have had a permanent reduction. So, unique situation, unique strategy. If it applies to you, make sure that you're working with your certified financial planner on that. But bigger picture, what's your Social Security optimization strategy? Are there any creative planning strategies that apply to you and your specific situation? Work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.